Welcome to the Half-Assed Heresy. This is a new video on how I'm going to paint the Herald of Nurgle himself, Typhus. This is going to be more concentrating on the base that I have planned. Much like one of my other bases, I'm going to use a 3D sort of going below the base by chopping a hole out of it and possibly above it with extras from my spares pot. So my plan is to have this rock on there, and in front of it I'm going to draw a pool of gunk, cut it out with a craft knife and fill it full of gunk and possibly a dead space marine, and then we'll put the Mr. Nurgle on top of that. I'll be using a piece of slate, some cork and the classic kitty litter. I want it slightly angled, so I'm not going to glue it in place, but something like that, so he can be at an angle sort of overlooking the pool that I'm going to do. And then to hide it and build it down a little tad, and I put some of the larger rocks there. Something like that. I'll tidy them up, and then I'm going to be removing this bit and making the pool there, so it's sort of oozing into there and he'll be on top. Slight change in plan. I don't like having to force it into that small base, so I'm going to use one of the bike bases to give me a bit more room to work in. So Typhus will be on that rock, and this poor dude will be melting away in a puddle of goo. He'll probably be an Ultramarine, to be fair, because that's how they mostly end up. There we go, craft knife, instant pool, then trusty jewellery file to tidy up the edges. I might as well do the whole thing. So this is my scheme for doing Death Guard. Death Guard green undercoat spray from Citadel. Camo shade wash, very heavy. Then an Elysian green mid dry brush, and then a very light ogre camo, very light dry brush, and you end up with that. So there you go, that's just the edging done. If it's a bit too extreme, I give it another coat of that, but I'm quite happy with it as is. I figured while I'm recording I'll quickly go over my metallics. For anything gold, I go with Brass Scorpion, so cover anything you want gold with Brass Scorpion. Then edge highlight it with Retributor Armour, wait till it's dry, then wash it with Rakeland Flesh Shade to give it a lovely dark red gold. And then very lightly on just corners where there might be wear and tear, I do a very thin brush of lead belcher, so it looks really damaged but also really pops like gold. So I've laid down the stones. Typhus is nearly done, but this is more about the base. The stones and the cork's going to go like that. This flat base bit is where Typhus is going to stand. This is going to be the pool. I'm going to fill it full of like a green goo or something. I might fill it all the way to the base or use the offcut painted green to give the illusion of a base. This guy is going to be my out of luck Ultramarine. I might have him sort of sinking into the pool, something like that. That's how I'm hoping it looks. We'll see when I start adding more detail. I found a couple of BBs which I thought would be cool if I chopped them and used them. Imagine them painted green, obviously, and slimy. There's like bubbles coming up through the pool. Might work, might not. I've decided to go with the sealed base with the piece that I cut out, super glued on, and then filled all the gaps with trusty pound shop filler. There's the rocks done. Let's get some light on there. The usual Mechanicus grey, Celestra grey, green stuff to smooth out the pond edges. Check one of my other videos to how I do simple rock bases, but it's starting to shape up now. Right, filling the pool with this gunky clear glaze. It looks full, it'll take at least 2 layers because it shrinks quite rapidly, so that's what it's going to look like anyway. And I'll drip in camo shade and bale tan green to give it a bit more goo look, and then poor old Timothy will be going for a bath. While Typhus is done, I'll dig out my light box to get some better pics of him, but there he is, you get the idea. Some grass added now, the gunk's added, some skulls from the basin set. First time I've used the blood for the blood god blood thing from the basin set, but it turned out alright. And Strickland mud, Back to the Future. Come on for the Blood God, the old skulls and the basin set. I have to say that the basin set from Citadel is really good. It really augments all the other stuff you do. I can't speak highly enough of it. It's great to save money and do things on the cheap, but also it's a great set. Anyone who wants to do good bases really should go for that. So that's him really. I'll just get the light box set up and then get some better vics. There we go. Zoom in a bit. You can see what he looks like. There's Timothy, the fallen Ultramarine. That's a shading going on. That slate bit was the one that made the difference. A piece of slate I found on the floor. Really knocks. I should knock something up that'll rotate them. Some sort of motorised rotational thing. Maybe use a fidget spinner or something. But there you go. My Typhus. I'm very happy with him. I've been waiting for that model since getting back into Conquest. So there we go.